What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today I want to talk to you guys about comparing yourselves to other collectors. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this over the years, myself included, and there are some things that are good about it and some things that aren't so good about it. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the subject of comparing yourself to other collectors, share my thoughts along with my own personal background to it as well, and just, go right into it. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video subject. Take a look at the subject of comparing yourself to other collectors right after the intro. Alright, so the first matter at hand that I want to talk about when it comes to comparing yourself to other collectors is that it can be inspirational. It isn't all a bad thing when you compare yourself to other collectors, as long as it's done right. For example, let's say you see a game room tour and you see something that a collector has displayed or had some type of arrangement in their game room. That's some ideas that you can throw into your personal game room and game collection. Maybe there's a game collector that talks to you about a game that he has that you think is cool and that you haven't tried yet. That's one more game that you could check out one day that you might potentially enjoy. Of course, I think there have been a lot of people that have dived right into this hobby simply because they have seen some people online where they've got a massive game room and they want to try it for themselves, myself included. After all, I want to give a big shout out to Pete Dorr, because that is the first game collector that I ever saw that truly made me want to be a game collector. So now here I am today with my very own YouTube channel with a massive game room with about 3,500 games right here in the game room. So I will say a big shout out to Pete Dorr for, kind of giving me that push to dive right into this journey. But yeah, I'll just say right here, it's not all bad to compare yourself to other collectors as long as it's done right. After all, it can be very inspirational. Now, of course, comparing yourself to other collectors or other people in general usually comes with a negative context to it, which is what I'm going to be covering right here. And I've been a victim of this myself, where I've absolutely have compared myself to other collectors over the years. And I've seen a lot of times where, like, say a collector has this many games, or they've got this console as a complete set, or they've got this many consoles as a complete set, or they're doing this and they're doing that, or they're not doing this, or they're not doing that, right? And there's something going on where I think something's wrong with my game room or my game collection, and I need to fix whatever issue that I feel insecure about at the time. And the thing is that, of course, I have to remind myself with this as well, but I think the important thing is to remind ourselves at the end of the day, these are our game rooms. A lot of certain collectors may have access to things that you may not have, or you may have access to things that other collectors may not have access to, right? After all, in my personal area, it is just garbage. I'm just going to say it right now. It's just absolute garbage to try to find deals in my area. A lot of people know what their stuff is worth, and it's just very hard to get a deal at a garage sale or estate sale or whatever, which really limits my capabilities of finding good deals to add into the game room. So I've had to be more creative with that over the years. So, and of course, there are collectors that will go out to garage sales and estate sales and all that, but they may be missing other things that I'm potentially getting, right? So at the end of the day, too, I think we all need to remember these are our own game rooms. So we need to do what makes sense for us, what makes us happy, all that stuff. Of course, this is something I have to remind myself every once in a blue moon just because I'm not perfect, but I think it is something worth talking about because when it comes to the subject of comparing yourself to other collectors, I think this is a matter that does need to be discussed. Now, before I continue things along when it comes to comparing yourself to other collectors, I just want to give you guys a quick recommendation and talk to you guys about Utsukushi. Now, Utsukushi is an anime-inspired streetwear clothing brand that is not only the sponsor of this video, but also an amazing clothing brand that has a lot of interesting designs that embrace both anime and Japanese culture with the multiple designs that they have on their t-shirts, hoodies, and hats. Now, what I really like about Utsukushi is not only the designs that they have for their clothes, but also the quality that they have as well. They use a special technique to put the designs on their products to ensure that you are getting a quality product that is going to last a while and will be able to put up with some wear and tear over time. The shirts are also very comfortable as well, and the clothing brand tries to be environmentally conscious with their hoodies that are made from both recycled and organic materials. And also, when you place an order through Utsukushi, it takes a little bit longer because it is sent through a print-on-demand process, meaning they do not keep multiple quantities of one shirt, but it is special ordered for you to prevent waste from going into the environment. And with every purchase that you make through Utsukushi, you earn rewards points that you can use to get special discounts. And when you have enough rewards points saved up, you can even use them to buy a full shirt, hoodie, or hat, or any other product of your choice. And of course, I have a special discount to share with you guys today. Please make sure to use the coupon code NATE15 so that way when you go to itsukushiclothing.com, you could save 15% off your entire first order when you use the coupon code NATE15. So please make sure to head on over to itsukushiclothing.com today. Pick up a nice, good discount along with some really cool clothing as well. Not only will you get some nice merch for yourself, but you also help support the channel as well. So please make sure to head on over to itsukushiclothing.com today and remember to use the coupon code NATE15 to save 15% off your entire first order. Now, let's head on back to the main subject at hand. Now, of course, as mentioned from before, I have been a victim of comparing myself to other collectors. After all, if I hadn't seen Pete Dorr's channel like many years ago, I probably would not be a game collector like I am today. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to Metal Jesus Rocks. If it wasn't for his channel, I probably would not be doing a channel like this. So big shout out to Metal Jesus. But those are a few good examples of when it is a good thing to compare myself to other collectors. But the bad times of me comparing myself to other collectors is when times where I've seen collectors where they're getting so many games at once, or they've got a complete set for this console or that console. And I just can't help but think to myself, I'm like, dang, why can't I do that? Because I mean, after all, like I've mentioned in my area, people know what their stuff is worth, i.e. meaning that I'll go to a yard sale and you'll have Karen want to sell her son's Xbox 360 for $200 when in reality it's like $80 on eBay. That's just the type of situation that I'm dealing with in my area. But I will say I've absolutely have been a victim of comparing myself to other collectors. It's not healthy. It's not good. Will I do it again? Probably, I'll admit. But again, it's because I'm not perfect. And if for whatever reason you guys do decide to subscribe to my channel or already have been subscribed to my channel, if I ever do anything where it seems kind of like I'm comparing myself to other collectors in a negative light, please call me out on it. I think it is only healthy to do so. I mean, after all, as mentioned from before, our situations are all different. Our game rooms are always going to be different. So I think that is just something we've got to remember at the end of the day. But in terms of my little bit of experience when it comes to comparing myself to other collectors, that's just a little bit of my story right there. So, of course, I think it is worth talking about a healthy balance when it comes to comparing yourself to other collectors. I think if you are somebody that likes to go on to other collectors' channels and you just enjoy the casual room tour, and you kind of like to see what's going on, and you like to just see like, hey, maybe I should do this with my game room, or this with my collection, and you're just looking for ideas, and that's just that. I think that's perfectly good. I think that's perfectly healthy. I mean, I think that's just a pretty normal way to engage with the community if you are somebody that really enjoys game collecting and likes having a game room. However, I think if you are watching game room tours and you're constantly nitpicking at, oh, I should be doing this with my game room, or I need to get this game in order to be a collector, or I need to have this many games, right? I think that is when there is a problem. Now, of course, I'm not some expert that's like trained on this. I'm only just sharing my opinion on it. But I think if you are somebody that is going in, watching these videos, and you're looking at it as like, hey, I need to do this in order to be considered like a real collector or something of that nature, right? I think the best thing to do is to stop watching those videos, at least for a little bit. It's just because I think at that point, that's just not a healthy way to go about it, right? I think, as I'm going to be the broken record again, and I'm going to say all of our situations are different, and there's just a lot of things that are within our control and not within our control. I think that is just something that really has to be emphasized. Also, as mentioned from before, I've been guilty of this over the years, but yeah, I do think if you are watching these videos and you're just putting yourself down in the dumps, it's probably best that you don't do it. But if you're enjoying these, and for the most part you think it's cool to see like, oh yeah, this person's got like 4,000 games, or they've got 2,000 games, but it's a really cozy room or whatever, right? If you're kind of going about it where it's not really hurting you, you're kind of enjoying it, you're like I said, literally enjoying it, right? That's when I think, nothing's wrong. Just kick back, relax, and enjoy yourself a good time watching your favorite collector here on YouTube. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Please be sure to check out these videos here, and here. After all, I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting tips, and other video game related subjects. So be sure to keep an eye out every Monday and Friday where I upload consistently, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.